Indian service businesses are increasingly going global. Whether you run an agency, sell SaaS subscriptions, or consult, your client base is no longer restricted to domestic borders. You need a reliable way to get paid by anyone, anywhere. For many, Skydo has become the default answer. It gives you virtual bank accounts to receive international wires for a low, flat fee of $19 to $29 per transaction. But the moment your business needs anything beyond a manual bank transfer, Skydo's functionality stops. It cannot process credit cards, it doesn't support Apple Pay, and it has no native subscription billing. It is strictly a bank transfer tool. Take a look at this checkout friction test. On the left side, Indian businesses need low fees and FIRA compliance. But on the right side, retail buyers and modern clients expect instant payment options like Apple Pay, credit cards, or buy now, pay later. Skydo checks all the business boxes. But because it lacks a modern payment gateway, it fails the buyer completely. When clients hit a checkout page and realize they have to manually wire funds across the globe, they abandon the invoice. Forcing every single client into a rigid manual workflow creates friction. And friction delays payments and limits your revenue growth. When businesses encounter this limitation, the immediate reaction is to add a legacy platform like PayPal or Payoneer. This pie chart breaks down the actual cost of a $1,000 international payment through PayPal. Right off the top, Indian accounts are hit with a 4.4% base receive fee. But legacy platforms also bury a hidden currency conversion markup in their exchange rates. When you factor in that's between 8.4% and 9%. Payoneer operates on a very similar model. Outside of forced marketplace payouts from sites like Upwork, using them for direct invoicing drains your margins fast. Relying on a 9% legacy tool alongside a separate wire transfer tool creates fragmented dashboards and forces you to surrender nearly a tenth of your income just to let a client use a credit card. This is where Playto Pay enters the picture. It is a full-stack alternative designed specifically to bridge the gap between low-cost bank transfers and modern checkout infrastructure. If your business operates in an environment where large corporations exclusively wire you money, Skydo wins the math. But modern service businesses rarely operate in a pure wire transfer vacuum. You have to account for the operational reality of international clients who refuse to send wires and prefer to pay via corporate card or digital wallet. This feature matrix compares our primary options for card acceptance. For Indian businesses, the closest comparable option is Stripe India, which requires an exclusive invite and reaches an effective 6.3% after currency conversion. Skydo cannot process cards at all. Playto Pay's infrastructure includes one-tap Apple Pay and Google Pay checkouts for US, UK, and European buyers. It also provides buy now, pay later options through Klarna and Afterpay. Your client gets flexible terms, while you get paid entirely upfront with zero credit risk. Compare an instantly shareable WhatsApp payment link to the friction of emailing a client your routing numbers and SWIFT codes, then waiting for them. Predictable revenue requires automation. SaaS companies, membership communities, and retainer-based agencies rely on recurring billing. Skydo's architecture does not support recurring models because every single payment requires the client to manually log into their bank and initiate a transfer. Playto to Pay manages this through automated monthly charges and autopay. You set the terms once, and the client is entirely removed from the billing loop. Before making a final choice, let's clear out the edge cases. If all your buyers are in India, you do not need a cross-border tool. For purely domestic businesses, use Razorpay. It has the most comprehensive UPI integration and a 2% domestic fee structure. If you are an enterprise business processing massive volumes of B2B wires, $50,000 a month or more, Xflow provides strong corporate compliance support. And if you are a solo freelancer who occasionally receives simple one-off invoices, Wise is a cost-effective multi-currency account. But neither Xflow nor Wise solve the core Skydo problem. They are still single-purpose bank transfer tools that lack card or subscription capabilities. Let's map this out clearly. This decision tree starts with your primary international payment type. But if you are an agency, creator, or SaaS business dealing with a mix of retail buyers, monthly retainers, and varied invoice sizes, you need a unified platform. Evaluate how your clients actually want to pay. Protecting your margin on a wire transfer is smart, but losing thousands of dollars because a client couldn't click an Apple Pay button?